The other thing that about ritual that I've forgotten is that a lot of sports people do rituals. They get up at 5:15 in the morning, and then they start their day with 15 press ups, and then they have to touch the door 15 times, and then they go to work at a certain time. So they sort of attach numerology to the ritual of life, and they're absolutely sure, that this gives them more focus, and it creates a connection to winning. And they go through this every single time they pick up a baseball bat or rugby ball or something like that. And so when we put the mask on, we create the ritual. We're in this huge ritual called coronavirus. We're told by our prophets, the scientists, and the computer systems, what's going to happen. We work with fear that if we don't wear a mask, then we're going to get killed. We need to have a special protection and vaccine and alcohol. We need to wash our hands and do all these ritualistic things. But rituals also have numbers, as I was saying, attached to them. And they also have special times attached to them. When we go out to work every day at the same time. And we come back from work and we go to school to pick up our children at the same time. So within the ritual, we've also got numbers and times. Now, they don't have to be exact. You don't have to do things exact at that time. There are many rituals which you have to do in the morning, and that you have to do at midday, and that you have to do at night. So it doesn't have to be a particular time, but it can be an area of time. And when we have the ritual of the face mask and putting it on, we have the ritual of putting it on in the morning when most people go out to work, and then the ritual of taking it off when we go back home. The ritual's also starting to move into the house. So before, it was always before you left the house, you put the mask on, and when you came to the house, you took it off, and then you washed and you cleaned yourself as you went in, as you'd go into a temple. So in effect, the house is starting to become a temple, and in a way, your house is your temple. It's a representation, a metaphor, a mirror image of yourself. And so when you go into your house, you're disconnecting from the world, and you've externalized your world. What's inside you, outside, your pictures, your colors, your furniture, your books, your certificates. It's like your head being flattened out from 5 dimensions onto 4 dimensions. So you go to the house and you go through the ritual, and it's done at a certain time. It's done at a certain time. You go into the temple and out of the temple at certain times. So again, it's very much ritualistic, and it's very much like a religion, this C virus that now exists. And for what? To welcome in the new world which has been welcomed in from the 5G technology, a new world which is getting rid of all the legacy systems, a new world which is resetting everything, a new world which is putting in technological revolutions and evolutions into our life, a world where we need to buy electronics and technology in order to survive, in order to get the cashless society that they want. Everyone's going to have a non-contactless cash, and old people that aren't used to this type of stuff are going to have to change. They're the people that are going to be worst affected. But the younger generations, they'll be able to do this much better. But the mid-50s, 60s, they're going to have to change. They're going to force themselves to learn these new skills, these new ideas, this new way of life. Because the new normal is a new way of life. It's changing who you are, changing the way you do things. And changing the way you do things changes the way you think. So you've got the neurons as well, which are also going to have a different perspective of reality after this change takes place. Many people are saying that this change will take place in 2025. You've got some people, Ray Kurzweil, which is saying 2030 they'll have this brand new way of life. A lot of people are saying 2025, that they're trying to pull the dates forward. I don't think that technology is actually something that we need to be scared of. I think we've got to be scared of the people that are implementing the technology on us, and the things that they're doing to create us accepting that new technology. And I think I've been listening to a lot of people, and a lot of people are starting to say, oh, I've been asked, how do I deal with this? What do I do? How do I change the world? How do I tell people? What's the answer? What do I do? I think the best answer is to change. yourself through education and through study and through behavior. I think that education changes your perception and perception changes your behavior. And I think that the best way to understand what's going on is through intelligence. Everyone talks about consciousness. You got to elevate your consciousness. You got to go to the fifth and the sixth dimensions, and you got to make a connection to the Imperial White Brotherhood that are out there on spaceships just outside of Saturn, but we can't see them because they've got special cloaking devices. I hear a lot of that stuff. I think that it's more simple. I think that the other thing that I keep hearing is having faith in God. You must have faith in God. You have to pray. You have to have faith in God. I don't see what having faith in God and praying is going to do. I think that you need to be proactive. I think pray and ask God for help, but I also think that you need to research and understand what's happening, so that when people, the schools and people in power, positions of power, they try to implement this, you can speak back, you can thwart them, you can disrupt them with the knowledge that you have, because knowledge is power. And I think that that can be done on the alternative media and books and listening to YouTube channels. If you like the video, please subscribe.